and in this video we are going to discuss about migrating WCF services to PaaS using API apps. So in the previous demo we covered migrating your WCF services to PaaS using your Azure Web App and Azure Web API. Now API apps has some advantages over Web APIs and Web apps. Like the most important thing which I like is your native Swagger implementation. Like when you create a API apps in your Visual Studio, a Swagger reference comes by default, right? And then it is a very developer friendly features for API consumers to interact with our API through Swagger UI. So this is one important part. And also it is based on the this Swagger is API. It is based on API providers provides some client SDK generation. Like for example, they makes easy to call your APIs just like a regular methods and all. The another feature if you're using API apps is the ability to publish your API apps into your Azure Marketplace. Now, Azure Marketplace is the public repository for your all API apps that can be consumed freely or by charge. So, and also apart from these two features, I mean, there are other features like for authentication, course, and API data are directly moved to your app services in case you are using your API apps. So those are the key features which we can leverage. And also it can be deployed as a web app or mobile app. So that is one interesting part. And you don't need to redeploy your applications to take advantage of these new features. And also in case you have web API, you can also migrate it to API apps as well. Now let's go quickly and see how to create API apps and how to publish and consume using your Swagger UI. So for this, you need to have a Visual Studio 2017. You can develop in Visual Studio 2015 as well. So these are the prerequisite. So I'll go and create a new project over here. So this time it will be your web. You can take .NET Framework 4 or something, and then you can take a name. Okay, so you can create one application, blank application you can take to web. So I'm saying yeah, yes. And here you can see a new option. Earlier we created using Web API. Now we are going to use Azure API apps, and now this is what you can host it using API. Fine. So now your project has been uploaded. I mean loaded. So now you can see one model controller, and then you have a by default controller. So we'll quickly go and add model and controller, and we are going to just list out a few details, maybe user details and all, just to demonstrate how to create a web API, API apps, and how to consume API apps. Now we'll quickly go and create a model class over here. We'll add a class. We'll give a name, like maybe we can give a name. We'll take normal class, and we'll see contact. Let's make it contact. And here we can simply write some public property for name and age. Okay, so let's create this property. We can see ID. Let's get and set, and then So let's have these two properties only defined over here. So we have created this model. Now controller, this is the default one which we have as of now. So we can delete this and we can create our own controller. So I'll say add controller, and then we can take web API to controller empty one, and we can name it contact controller. So here we can define whatever we have written over there. So we can say we'll return, yeah, and which one? So we are looking for contact, and then get, right? And let's return something. Return the new contact, and then let's return a few data. New contact. We can see ID is equal to, sorry, we can give it a name, ID1, and then finally name. And that's it. Now we have done this. We are returning one data over here in this API apps. Uh, now let's run this and just see using Firefox what it is returning. So we got this error. So we need to write this API, and then contact is the name of the API, right? So now you can see, yeah, out of contact, now it has returned this contact and our data over here. So fine. So now our API apps is ready. Now we need to publish this API apps to your Azure, and then we'll see how to consume using Swagger. So fine, let's go ahead and publish this API apps to your Azure. Now once you right click over here, you can see a new feature to publish this. You can say add, oh sorry, this is for adding a new client. We need to publish this particular API apps, right? So we'll go and create a new one. We'll say API apps. Okay, and resource group you can give. Okay, now you can say API apps resource group. Let's create this particular plan. We can have a new plan as well. We can have a new plan like API plan, right? Let's take this one and let's create this. Now it has started publishing. You can see the details in the background. It's trying to publish this particular API apps to your Azure. Yeah, so now let's see the overall status is now it has been published. So now our API apps has been published to Azure app. So you can see this URL. Let's quickly click on this and go to the URL. So now your app service is running, and let's give the path of this API and contact. So now you can see, you are able to see this particular path. Now let's go to the Azure portal, and yeah, you can see this details. It has been deployed over here, and let's these are the other settings, just like for web apps and all, for is common for app services. Now the interesting part is, let's go to API definition. So now here, the one of the advantages of API apps is it gives definitions which lets you configure the metadata using your Swagger 2.0, right? And then you'll be able, it will help others to use your API and consume your API. So this is the URL which you can use to save this, and you can publish to others to consume your web API. Sorry, application API apps. So we are having some problems in downloading. So particular URL over here. So now you can see this particular data is over here, right? So you can copy this particular data. I have already configured my Swagger editor over here. So now you can see, uh, I'll paste this information to my Swagger editor, and now you can see, now the schemas you can see is HTTPS, and now you can see the contact information, like my information is over here, and you can see over here, try it out, you can try it out, and these are the definitions which you can publish over here. So let's go and see and say try it out, and I'm getting some error, but this is how it has been. You can see, you can consume over here using your Swagger. So you have just published your API apps, and you can see how to consume using your Swagger. Do like my video if you found this useful. Uh, Thanks for watching.